All right, so one of the things I like to do just as a quick win optimization for a site is I like to go through pages and just add keywords to sentences and headings, just to target keywords to sentences and headings. I'm not keyword stuffing. This isn't about keyword stuffing, but I do think there's value in if you can squeeze in a couple more mentions of it, especially if a page doesn't have a whole lot of mentions of it, then that's a good win, and I've seen good results for that. So I wanted to try to build a way to do that at scale. Right now, I have to go through each individual page and try to scan through the copy, identify a sentence that I think I can update, and put that target keyword in. First of all, I'm not a writer, so that's the first thing that's a little bit difficult for me. And second of all, that's a pretty tedious process. So I wanted to see if I can come up with a way to do this at scale using ChatGPT or OpenAI, their API. So I built a tool for it. So this tool will allow you to input a list of URLs, input a list of their target keywords, and then you'll pull in some information about it. You'll pull in the title tag of the page. You'll pull in the actual body text of the page, or you'll extract out the body text. And then I have prompts that go through that get sent to OpenAI that basically says, "Hey, look through the body text, look for sentences where it makes sense for me to add this target keyword in." So I can do that, 50 to 75 URLs at a time. I've done as much as 100, depending on how fast OpenAI API is running. But typically about 50 to 75 URLs I can get through pretty easily. So I'm just going to walk through how to set this up and how to go through the process. So first thing is you need to make a copy of this document. So you're going to go to File, make a copy. You can call it what you want. Let's call it Dwayne's AI SEO Sentence Optimizer. There's a script that's associated with it, and so when you make a copy, it's going to make a copy with that script associated with it. So it'll take a second. All right, so next thing is now that we've got that copy built into our Google account, we need to authorize those scripts to run. So if you go to extensions, app script, there's some JavaScript in here that I have to do all the automation and to do the API calls as well. So I'm going to click this button to authorize it, press OK. And then because this is just a tool that I've built on my own, I haven't gone through like the Google process of getting it into their library or whatever. So it's going to come up with some warning messages. So if I click on my name, it's going to say Google hasn't verified this app again because I haven't gone through the verification process. I just built this really for myself. I'm just sharing it with people on LinkedIn. So you want to hit the advanced link and then click go to AI SEO Sentence Optimizer. And then once you do that, it'll come up with this normal thing that you normally see and just hit allow. All right, so now it's authorized. The next step is you need to enter a couple of APIs in. So the first one is the OpenAI API key. This is ChatGPT essentially. And so you're going to go to platform.openai.com. You'll need to create an account. You can create a free account that'll give you $5 in credits. Normally each query is like something is less than a penny. So it's going to be super cheap. But once you get that account set up, you'll need to go into your accounts, select view API keys, and then create a new key. And then you're going to paste that into this box. And then the next API key that you need to enter, so that's going to allow you to send prompts over to ChatGPT through Google Sheets. And then this next API, this is going to allow you to extract the text from a URL. So be able to send over, hey, here's a URL I want to get text from, and then it's going to reply back with that text. So it's from web to meaning. You're going to go to this address and sign up for an account. In their pricing here, you can actually sign up for a free one and get quite a bit of good number of requests, so 500 requests a month. If you think you're going to be doing this a lot, you could do 7,000 requests for $5 a month. That's what I do. And then if it goes over, you're only spending 0.001 cent per request. So once you get that set up, you're going to go over to the endpoints tab, and then in this middle section, once this comes up, this middle section, if you scroll down, it's going to have the API key. So you just copy that, paste that into here. So those are the two APIs that you need. The tool shapes where all the magic is done. So the first thing we need to do is we need to put in target URLs and target keywords. So I just grabbed 10 URLs from healthline.com and what I thought was a target keyword. So once you got that in there, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to do three things here. We're going to grab the title tag, we're going to extract out the body text for each one of those URLs, and then we're going to do the sentence optimization. So first one, get current title tag. I have a couple of extra menu items here. So this optimizer menu drop down, you'll click on that and then click get title tags. And then it's going to do its thing. While it's doing its thing, let's say you had like 100 URLs or something like that in here. You want to sort of see where things are at. I have this script status tab where it'll sort of show where things are at. So you'll be able to see which row it's on, which URL is on, stuff like that. All right, so that's done. That was really quick. Next thing we're going to do is going to extract that body text. And again, it's going to use that web to meaning API to do that. So it's going to be a little bit slower, but still not too bad. All right, so that's done. And then the next thing we need to do, so now we've got our target URLs, the title tag, the body text, and now it's going to use this. We're going to use these to generate those sentence optimization ideas. So, as long as we got our API key in, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to go to Optimizer, generate sentence optimizations. Actually, before I do that, I want to show you how this works. So the prompt that I'm sending over to OpenAI is actually fully editable. So I have this prompt tab here where you can adjust the prompt. We'll sort of go through it just to see how it works. I have three sections of my prompt. There's a task details section, a main request section, and then a rules section. And the actual wording is going to be broken off like that when we send it to ChatGPT or OpenAI. So in the task details section, this is where I just put details about the sort of background information. So I say, act as a world-class SEO and copywriter. I'm following, this is the following is a keyword I'm targeting for the web page I'm building. And then I can look up the headings of that tool tab, right? So I can say, give me the target keyword for this one. And then say, here's the blog name. And then it looks up the current title tag, this column here. And then here's the content for the page. And then it's going to look up body text, and it's going to look for that column here. So important thing, don't change the names of these columns, or if you actually just don't change the names of these columns. The names of these columns are being used in a bunch of different places, so leave them as is. I hope to make a future version where those are interchangeable, or you can change the names of those, but for right now, leave the names of those columns as is. So those are the task details, and then the main request is identify the 10 sentences that I can add that keyword or a very similar variation, and I just say why you can find up to 10. I expect it to be between 3 and 6 in your final results. And then I just have a bunch of rules to try to get the result that I need. This is actually a pretty difficult task, and honestly, it's still not 100% perfect. I'll show you in a second where. But there's a lot of rules that I had to put in here. But you can actually put in up to 100 rules if you want to. And it's going to concatenate them all together and send them over to ChatGPT. So that's how the prompt is built. And so when you run this next one, sentence optimization ideas, you go to get optimizer and then generate sentence optimizations. It's going to create that prompt, pulling in the information from the individual row, and then send it over to ChatGPT. This one's going to be slower for sure, because it's doing the work of putting it together, sending it over to ChatGPT, waiting for ChatGPT to give a response, and then putting it back in. If you know from like ChatGPT, it's like sort of word by word, line by line, that type of thing. So like it's going to take some time. So just let it go. The main thing is you want to keep in mind you want to do this with a Google Workspace account, not a normal Gmail account. So this script that's running right now, I got 10 URLs in here. It's probably going to take about 5, 6, 7 minutes. The personal Gmail accounts have a time limit. It's only like 6 minutes or something like that. Versus a Google Workspace account, like from your work, or if you pay for Google Workspace, I think the timeout's 30 minutes. So you'll be able to run it a little bit longer if you have like a bunch of URLs. So if you're using a personal Gmail, just know it's going to time out really fast. Probably after about 10 rows or so, maybe. If you're using Workspace account, you got some time. You can probably do about 50 to 75 pretty easily. So just know that that's the case. All right, so that's running through, and like I said, that's going to take some time to finish up. All right, so that has completed. That took, like I said, about 5 6 minutes to get through all 10 of those. But you see there, this column is completely filled in with the optimization ideas. So now, last step here is we're going to create a Google Doc that's going to take all these ideas, put them all in one Google Doc, and then we can go through and sort of edit and pick and choose what optimizations we actually want to implement. Like if you were sending this over to like a client or to like a copywriter, we don't want to send this directly as is because there's definitely going to be some things we want to leave out. But this gives us one place where we can sort of edit and clean things up. So, all right. So the last step, we're going to go to our optimizer. We're going to create a single document to place all of these in. So we're going to go to optimizer, create optimization document, and that'll take just a second or so to put it all together. So it's going to take all these rows, the optimization ideas, the URL, stuff like that, and then create a document for you. So the pop-up that comes up here gives us the URL of the document it creates. It just creates in the root of your Google Drive folder. So I'm gonna open that up. And so what we got here is for each URLs. We got the URL, the target keyword, and then we got the sentences that it found on the page that it recommends we can add in um, that target keyword. So, for example, alcohol and medication use can affect your levels too. It recommends, hey, you can do alcohol and medication use can affect your magnesium glycinate levels too. And so that's actually seems like a pretty good use of it. What I have found is that it's not going to be perfect, right? So like you just kind of got to go through and clean it up. So for example, this one here, um, so it has one supplement people with magnesium deficiency use to help boost their level is magnesium glycinate. Well, that keyword, that sentence already has the target keyword in it. So we don't need to optimize that. I have gone to bat with ChatGPT, the prompt, to try to clean that up. I think it's just the way, content and words get tokenized, that it sometimes, or a lot of times, actually misses it. So no big deal. And again, I'm not looking at keyword stuff here. I'm not looking to find all 10 opportunities to put in my keyword 10 times. I'm really just looking for a couple, right? Like a handful. I have another process that I'll share later on that's goes through the headings of the page and does the same thing. Looks for opportunities within the headings to add a target keyword. And again, I'm only looking for 1 to 2 additions. I'm not looking to go crazy here. This is just like a quick win. So that one's not going to work, right? This one here as well has the target keyword. That's not going to work. Um, so I'll just delete that one. This one here, according to the 2021 research review, magnesium supplements may help treat fibromyalgia. So I can change that to say supplements like magnesium glycinate may help treat fibromyalgia. That works. So I'll keep that. So that's what I'll do. I'll just go through and like, nah, that doesn't work. This one doesn't work. This one works, right? Until I get to the end. Like I said, most of them are going to have anywhere from 5 to 10 in there. So then I just repeat that for all the other pages. And then once I get done, now I have this list of pages that I can either hand off to a copywriter, or if I have CMS access, I can go in and just make those updates. Or I can hand to a copywriter, say, a lot of times what I do is hand to a writer, say, especially if I have CMS access, I'll say, hey, here's a list of sentences I want to update. Can you review, make sure you're okay with these? If they're okay with them, then I go through and do that update. So, but been a really good win for me. And a win not just in results in terms of like improving rankings, but also a win in just a time, right? To go through one of these pages, if I was to go through that magnesium page, right? So let's take a look at that. If I was to go through that magnesium page and try to find find places where I can add more keywords, this is a mess. I could this would take me forever, right? I mean, it's not a mess. It's a well-written page, but it would take me forever to try to do that, especially as a non-writer. Like my brain just doesn't think that way. Maybe I would look for any mentions of magnesium supplements, and maybe I change this to say magnesium glycinate supplements. I don't know, but like, yeah, it wouldn't be good. This actually does a better job than what I would do, and it does it more and does faster, right? Is it perfect? No. Like I said, you're gonna have to go through and edit it out. But for me, it's been a game changer. So let me know if you have any questions. If you run into any issues, this is sort of like a beta. So let me know if you run into any issues. Thanks.